So go ahead and lay down, head facing me. And welcome back. I'm happy to be back. Happy to be teaching again. I missed you guys, and I had a great time. Feel rejuvenated and relaxed and ready to get back to it. So today we are finishing up our second limb, the Niyamas, and we are landing on Ishvara Pranidhana. And this is our surrender to the divine. And that can be traditionally surrendering to a higher power, to God, surrendering yourself, your practice to something bigger than you. And in Western culture and in general, there can be some stickiness around the term God and surrender. I like to look at surrendering to a higher power or to something bigger than you as surrendering to the inner being, the universe, the connection that we all have. We are all connected in this web of consciousness and divine energy, and there's something bigger than us. So if you've been to like a mountaintop, you've been on a hike, or you go to the beach and you look out and you see this vast, beautiful landscape, and you get that feeling of being smaller than whatever else is out there. Or maybe when you look at the stars and you get that sense of how small you are and your experiences are, your problems that you may be working through seem compared to this big, vast space, this energy that surrounds all of us. So if you have some stickiness around the word God or what that means to you, maybe tap into just that energy of what is around us, the bigger picture. And for this Niyama, surrendering to that. So surrender also can be a little tricky for people, because we think of surrendering in the Western culture as like giving up or giving in. And the invitation for the Niyama and the Ishvara Pranidhana is to surrender in a way that you are letting go of the outcome of whatever this experience is. So if you start out on something, on a journey, on a task or a project, and you're attached to the idea of like what this is going to look like, or how it's going to end up, how it's going to come to fruition. This is asking us to let go of that attachment and just leading with our hearts and trusting and knowing that whatever happens is for our greatest good. It is all part of that connected, vast experience that we're all having, all sharing together, and that there is a plan and there is a space for you, and whatever will happen will happen. And when we begin to let go of that, we begin to surrender, we open ourselves up to less stress, less worry, less anxiety, and allow ourselves to just be more present. So today, I would like you to start with this practice by setting an intention. And we've done this many times. We set an intention for our practice. And this could be an intention to devote your practice to something, to the bigger picture, to whatever's out there. Or it can be to your God or goddess or whoever you identify with, connect with, or to yourself, to your family, to your community. It's really taking our focus of our practice to the external around us. surrendering to however we show up today for our practice. So take a moment to think about that. Think about an intention that you would like to set for today. The dedication of your practice to someone, something. And when you're ready, meet me in a seated position, facing me. We'll start with a brief meditation, embodying this idea of opening ourselves up and tuning into our inner beings. So I'd like you to take your fingertips and place them at your heart center. Do a little finger tapping, tune into that space. Close your eyes and breathe here. Tuning into the heart center and opening up our channels of divine love. Our inner knowing, where we go to seek answers, guidance. Embody the mystery of whatever else is out there. The mystery of the expansive universe that we are all connected in. The inner knowing. And see if you can picture the person, the idea, the space, the community, whoever you're dedicating this practice to. And bring that into your mind's eye and drop it into your heart center. Let go of the idea of an outward, external God and connect with the inward, internal divine knowledge within you. On the inhale, extend the arms out, our arms all the way to our fingertips, stretching, spread the fingertips nice and wide. Take a big inhale in. Exhale, let the arms fall. And find child's pose. Whatever variation that you would like to take. Either knees together or knees width of the mat. Use a blanket, use all your props and blocks and things that you need to feel supported. Allow the hips to sink down towards the earth. Walk the hands out and let the forehead rest on the earth or on a block. Notice the contact of your third eye, your intuition center, that space between your eyebrows in contact with the earth. Tune into this inner knowing, this guidance within you. And as you're here, I'd like to read a little poem. It's from my favorite yin book called The Language of Yin by Gabrielle Harris. Surrender. Surrender to the postures. The difficult ones reflect life's struggles. The sweet ones are joy. Surrender to the outcome of your actions. They are not in your control. Each day, each practice, just do your best. Surrender to the actions of the universe, the marvel of nature. The things you never saw coming. Surrender to your present difficulties, the pain and the losses, especially to the things you tried so hard to control but couldn't. Surrender to the definition of yourself, your judgments. They are just your way of limiting who you are. Have a deep, unwavering trust that right now you are where you are meant to be. Feel the universe working beautiful magic through you. Coming up through tabletop. Stretch out the legs, maybe sending the back toes, the right foot back. Stretch into your calf, sending the hips back gently. Feel into these spaces. Same thing on the left side. You can also take a downward dog here if you'd like to. It's not really part of a yin class, but if you feel the call to do that, there's an option for that as well. And then through tabletop, we'll come into dragon pose on the right side. So walking or stepping that right foot forward to meet the hands. Inhale, coming all the way up, reaching through the fingertips. Maybe taking a little back bend, cactusing the arms, opening the heart, and coming back up through center, interlacing the fingers behind the right knee. Gentle lunge forward, check in with your hips. See if they're square to the front of your mat. If that alignment feels good to you. We'll drop the shoulders down away from the ears. And when you're ready, coming down to blocks or to your hands on the inside of that right foot. You may need to walk the right foot out towards the edge of the mat a little more. And if it feels good to you to deepen your lunge, you can do that. Close your eyes if you feel safe doing so. And listen to the inner narrative that is playing right now. Notice what is running through your mind. If it's wandering to this or that, what's to come after class, what happened earlier in the day. Come back to that intention. Come back to the dedication, to the surrender. Letting go of the narrative and being present with what's happening here, what's happening in our bodies. Three more breaths. On the exhale, pressing back, half split, toes pointed towards the front of the room. And gently walk the foot back or step it back, coming back through tabletop option for a brief child's pose here. Allow the spine to soften. And then moving through tabletop to the other side. Walking or stepping the left foot forward to meet the hands. And coming all the way up again. Inhaling, arms reaching, taking that cactus with the arms, a little back bend, opening the heart center, drawing the shoulder blades together. Inhale all the way back up. Interlace the fingers and place them behind the left knee. Roll the shoulders down away from the ears. Gentle lunge forward. Check in with your alignment. Does this feel good to you? Notice the sensations. Deepening your lunge as you feel called to. When you're ready, coming to blocks, placing the hands on the inside of that left foot. Finding where you want to be here. Our affirmation for this pose is, I release and I allow. I release and I allow. Whatever that is for you. I release and allow my practice to unfold. Allow things to be as they are. And these affirmations are always just a suggestion. You can certainly come up with an affirmation for yourself that aligns with your practice. And what's important with these affirmations is to think about how they resonate with you. Notice what feelings come up. When you say the affirmation to yourself, is there some resistance? Is there some stickiness around it? Or does it feel true? Does it align with you and feel like this is me? This is my practice. Just exploring those ideas gently, without judgment. The next exhale, press back into that half split. Release. We'll move into a dangling posture. So this can be done with blocks too. Alicia, I definitely want you to do it with blocks. So I'm going to move my blanket out of the way. So we come to a standing posture, and dangling will be feet hip distance apart, planted into the earth, and then allowing your body, your upper body to dangle, your head to just be loose and free. You can grasp either elbow, or we can come to blocks, placing our hands on the blocks, maybe widening the stance slightly, and allowing your head to hang heavy. Allow the crown of your head to soften. Let your mind flow with humility to the earth. Think of this as emptying out all of those narratives, the anxiety, the worry, all the stories we tell ourselves. And allow them to empty out into the earth. Clear your mind and just be. And if you are not using blocks, you can allow your spine coming all the way up, rolling one vertebrae at a time. If you're using blocks, release the blocks and slowly, gently roll up one vertebrae at a time, bringing the head up last. Place the arms at the sides, palms facing out, feet rooted into the earth. Nice and tall, shoulders roll down away from the ears. And just breathe here. Tune into the feeling of just being here in mountain pose. See if you can feel energy moving through you and around you. Or just noticing what your state of being is here. Allowing yourself to just be, to exist. last breath here, and we will come back down into tabletop. So in whatever way is intuitive to you, to make your way back down to the mat. Option for Vinyasa here if you'd like to take that, if it's within your practice. And we'll come into Sphinx pose. So bringing our forearms to the mat, bellies to the mat, legs out long behind us. Forearms pressing into the earth, fingertips spread nice and wide. Bring your gaze between your hands and imagine extending the crown of your head out beyond your mat. So lengthening the spine here. Let go of any tension you may be holding in your legs or your hips. And allow yourself to be supported, to surrender to the earth. Allow it to hold you here. Draw the shoulder blades together and see if you can open your heart center just a little more. Our affirmation here, I release control of the outcome of any situation. I release control of the outcome of any situation. With this Niyama, we are letting go of the idea that we can control what happens to us at any given time. We are responsible for our behaviors and our actions, but when life throws us curveballs or situations arise, we can only control how we interact with those. We can't control the outcome of the situation itself. And the situation itself doesn't really care about us. Doesn't really care what we have to say, what we want. In this scenario, whatever it is, your car breaks down, you get a flat tire, traffic. Those situations don't really care about our feelings about them. They just are what they are. And we can surrender to the moment and allow things to unfold, or we can cause ourselves some suffering by trying to control things and shift things the way we want them to be. And exhale, coming down to the forearms, rest the forehead there. Just pausing here for a moment. Draw the hands under the shoulders. Press away from the earth. Coming back through tabletop, we'll move into pigeon on the right side. So from tabletop, drawing that right knee forward towards the front of the mat. Not concerned so much about where your alignment is in this. You can use a block underneath your hip to help support you. I do suggest that.
Okay. Where do I put it?
Right behind your leg there, and then allow your hips to settle there. There you go. Yeah. And pressing away from the earth here. Deep stretch in the hips here. These hip stretches can cause an emotional release as well if that comes up for you. See if you can allow yourself to surrender to those feelings, those emotions that come up. Breathe into the space. Feel all of those little sensations within your body as we move through these postures. Notice them gently. And remove any props, gently release, bringing the right knee back. Moving into the left side, drawing the left knee forward. And placing a block, if you need it, underneath that left hip. Play around with where you want your left shin to be. It could be closer in towards the groin, or more parallel with the front of your mat. Wherever you land today, just allow yourself to be there. This is going to shift and change as we move through our practice. One side is going to be different than the other. And letting go and allowing ourselves to surrender wherever we are right now is also a part of our practice. Surrendering our bodies to where they are today. Not forcing or moving deeper into poses. Just allowing ourselves to be where we are. come into either a seated or supine twist. So for Alicia, have you do a seated twist. And you can take whatever option you like. We're taking the supine twist, coming to your back, your head facing me. Bend the knees and plant the feet hip distance apart. We'll start just windshield wiper the legs back and forth. Release all that hip stuff we did. And coming back through center, press through the soles of your feet, lifting the hips up, shift them to the left, and then let the knees fall to the right. Shifting the hips to the left a little just allows for a little better alignment, but do whatever feels good to your body. Arms come out to the sides to a T, and gaze comes over the left fingertips. You can utilize blocks here. You can place one between the knees. Sometimes that helps a little bit. Use whatever props you need to feel fully supported here. Our affirmation here is, I open myself up to all possibilities. I open myself up to all possibilities. Inhale, draw the knees up through center. Remove any props, shift the hips back through center, and maybe pull the knees in towards the chest and rock side to side. Alicia, you can, yeah, that works too. You can also place your hands behind you, fingertips pointed towards the back of the room for a little more support. And then drop the feet down, moving to the other side, knees still bent, pressing through the feet, lifting the hips, this time shifting them to the right. Allow the knees to fall to the left. Again, using any blocks, props that you need. I like to place one between my knees. You may need to make little adjustments to where your hips are to feel the best that you can in this posture. Arms come out to a T and gaze comes over the right fingertips. Inhale, slowly draw the knees back up through center, nice and gentle. Shifting the hips back. We'll move into stirrup or happy baby. Alicia will have you do the supported shavasana with the blocks. And then you'll just kind of have your legs like this. You can hold on behind your thighs for support. So laying flat on your back for stirrup pose, we really can just kind of grab anywhere. So either your shins or the back of your thighs and drawing the knees in towards the body. If you'd like to take happy baby, you reach through the center and grip the outsides of your feet and then place your feet towards the ceiling. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, happy baby. Giggle, laugh, rock back and forth. It's a fun pose. Pretend to be a baby. It's a nice little hip release. We won't be here too long. You can extend one leg a little more than the other. Just play around with it. It's not sad baby, it's happy baby. So giggle all you want. Be playful. Surrender to your inner child, maybe. And bring the soles of the feet together and drop them down to the floor. Allow your knees to fall open for supported butterfly, using any props like blankets or blocks that you like to support. Take a deep breath. Exhale and allow yourself to be here, supported by the earth, by our props. Check back in with your intention, your dedication for this practice to something bigger than you, to the universe, community, family, whatever it is. Feel free to stay here or extend the legs out long for your final Shavasana. And begin to let go. Let go of any shape of your breath. Let go of today's practice. Any worries, judgment, let it all go.
Please let me feel
We're fully supported here, held by the earth plane.
My heart is open.
You are safe to just be, to allow, to receive.
Love, 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 my heart is open. I am aware. It means a knowing. Love, 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 love. Free inner peace from my center, at the center of me. Please let me feel inner peace from my center, at the center of me. Please let me feel from my center, center of me. Please let me feel, please let me feel from my center, the center of me. My heart is open. I am aware. It means a knowing. Love, 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 my heart is open. I am aware. It means a knowing. Love, 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 love.
Begin to wiggle the fingers and toes. Invite yourself to return to the space. Take a big stretch in whatever way is intuitive to you. Make your way to a seated position facing me. And resting our hands on our knees, closing our eyes, and just noticing our state of being here. Notice how you feel here compared to the beginning of practice when you arrived. Take a big circle sweep of the arms up, inhale, palms together, exhale, hands in heart center. Thank you so much for joining me here for the practice of yin to finish up our second part of our series of the 8 limbs of yoga with our Niyama, Ishvara, Pranidhana, and practicing surrender here on the mat. taking tools with us to interact with the lives that we live